So John Jones versus Stipe. Miocic. Stipe lost to John Jones in the third round. TKO. It is over for Stipe. It really is. I mean, I think he's retired now, and that's all she wrote. But on the flip side, obviously, we all want to see Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. The fans made that very apparent. Now, was it always an Aspinall chant? Nah. I really think that we should have seen a little bit more from the fans, because I like when the fans give this pushback, because John alluded to we might give the fans what they want, but if you understand, this kind of stuff, I think Jones is just loving the fact that the chips are still in his hand, and he's going to deny us the Aspinall fight potentially. I don't think it's going to happen, but I still think, even if the fans are still calling for it, still call for it, so when he leaves, he's out the door, and the fans are still getting something. Now, he's going to fight for the title eventually, Tom Aspinall. But I feel like John Jones is going to be taking a page out of Conor McGregor's book and just wasting Tom Aspinall's time waiting on it, because I think he likes the fact that there's a reigning, defending interim champ in his steed, and he's just kind of loving that stuff up. Now, the negotiations might go completely different, but even in the post-fight interview, I just saw that when he was calling out the president-elect and, thanking Jesus Christ, right? It just kind of showed that, he's the master, pound-for-pound, number one GOAT, not in the UFC, but at Rage Bait. Not just in the UFC, but in Rage Bait. Because at a time, John Jones was the man. But if you're going against Stipe, that fight should have been a first-round finish if John Jones was really as good as everyone was saying he was, right? Because Jones did look slower in there. Stipe did have him kind of running away and dipping around and staying away from all of it. And he was 4-year layoff and looked super slow. That was a diluted Stipe that was giving an older John Jones a lot of issues. So I think Aspinall versus John Jones, Aspinall would be my betting favorite if that fight were to happen. I'm going to be real. It would have definitely been my betting favorite. He's still my betting favorite if that fight happens. Because you look at how Aspinall has moved in his last few fights, knocking out guys who could move for heavyweights, right? And then you see how John Jones had to really kind of dig a little deeper than we thought for Stipe. I think it is safe to say that Tom Aspinall can beat John Jones. But hey, you know what? We kind of knew this main event was going to be all types of petty. I knew it. I still am of the sound mind that fans should be a little more vocal, because maybe we could prove myself wrong and maybe Aspinall versus Jones can happen. And then I get to see if I'm right. Because if John Jones were to step in there and face Aspinall and lose to him, I'd still have a little more respect than for him than what's going on right now. It's just hard, And the thing is, it's like, if he wins against Aspinall, though, I'd still be like, you know what, John Jones, well done. You proved us all wrong. We'll go back to our grind after this. But, the fact that he's ducking Aspinall this hard, and I do think he is ducking Aspinall, it says a lot that he's probably thinking the same thing, that, man, Stipe gave me a little bit more resistance than I thought he was going to. It's pretty obvious right now that I think that he knows that there's a shot that Aspinall beats him. But you know what? That's the one thing that I would actually really be happy with, is if he just steps in there, because no matter the result, whether he loses to Aspinall, beats Aspinall, I would still like to see that than what I'm getting now. But you know what? The UFC is going to negotiate the way they're doing. And you know what? If they do another BMF belt for heavier weight classes and do John Jones versus Alex Pereira, maybe John Jones, if they do that route, maybe he might vacate the heavyweight title and just say, here you go, Tom. It's all yours. Which still might be a little bittersweet. But, I actually, you know what? I take it back. I'd actually respect John Jones a little bit for that one, too. But, I don't know if even that's going to happen. It's hard to tell. I think we just know that, he holds the chips right now, whether we like it or not. This is John Jones' night. I know that a lot of the fans are not happy with him, and he knows that. He walked out to Many Men by 50 Cent. He knows that a lot of people are just not loving him right now, and he's leaning into the heel turn. But you know what? It is what it is. What can we really do? I hate to sound pessimistic, but I guess it's concluded for now. And the next chapter will probably start up again in another 3 or 4 months. But until then, peace out.